loading snacks.
Yes, what it do, snackers, snackexes. It's your boy Gage. Jokes is in the building,
Yo.
in the building,
Yes, sir.
and you are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about all the things that are happening in pop culture. And today
Hey.
we're going to talk about Forza Horizon 5. We're going to talk about Eternals. We're going to talk about Spider-Man coming to Avengers, the game.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Cuddy.
That's right, Cut.
We're going to talk about the Fast and the Furious.
Okay. What up, J. Robert?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Extra Life. So, J. Robert Deans, what is up? So let's do this. Before we get into, did you get enough rest after you and Z and I carried the team? Yeah, I'm rested. Drinking my tea.
He got his tea.
Pac-Man cup. Yeah, before we get into Forza, here's what I'd like to do. They already getting at you, Jokes. They already coming to get you, bro. You too, Sam. Looks like they after you too. Here's what we have to do. Before we go too far, we have to discuss this. What is this? What is this?
Photoshop?
Super Photoshop, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How fake, bro?
Yeah.
Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite understand what is happening to the internet right now. They seem to be
Thinking that this is
full
real?
on believing that joint is official.
The joint is it's disgusting. Like we've seen leaks of things, and we can tell when it's real, and we can tell when it's like super suspect. This is super suspect. It's like
Thanks, Alfonso.
I wish, like, as confident we want to be that Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield are all going to somehow show up on screen at the same time. Like, I still would like to everybody just stop. We're almost at December. Let's just get there and just enjoy this movie, because like Tom Holland has already said, like, this is for our Spider-Man film. It's going to get at every possible emotion that's out there, and like I'm ready to see it. I don't need another trailer. I don't need another poster.
Oh no, you tripping. We need another trailer.
No,
sir. Listen.
No, I do not want another trailer. I'm good.
You don't have to watch it. We need another trailer. We need another trailer, dog. We need a trailer. As a matter of fact, they owe us a trailer. Straight up. They owe us a trailer. Because they do too much BSing. They have to give us another trailer, and it has to be much more definitive than what they've given us so far, because right now they haven't really given us anything. They just throw a little something out here. I mean, that last little poster reveal joint, that poster, that's cute. You see some people and stuff in the back. I mean, that's cute. That doesn't really, it's nothing we didn't really already know. Here's what I really think would be the most incredible thing. Would be if we only see Tom Holland and he's in both of their suits. And that I would be sold. And then it's like they're not actually in it. We don't see them together. But like when like Dr. Octopus is looking at Tom Holland, he's seeing Tobey Maguire. Right? So we don't necessarily see them together.
Right.
Because I'm going to be real with you, dog. Teaming up multiple Spider-Mans from multiple universes pretty much makes them the most unstoppable force on everything. Like, on everything. You start slinging spider guys together, unstoppable, bro. unstoppable. Nothing they can't do because there's so many of them.
I agree. I do need another trailer because just like the teaser in the first one, it hasn't. I just wish nobody knew I was Spider-Man. Like that. That's it. Like it is nothing else storyline wise there. There's a whole bunch of stuff kind of thrown into it. So I would be all up for one more trailer before we get the movie.
Facts, Robert. I agree. Listen, look at this because Charlie Cox is trending right now. On that's bothering me. So
That's
this same
disgusting.
dude. Listen, how fake? How fake, bro? This dude is trending with like 11,000 tweets right now.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the faker it gets.
I mean, listen, dog. I'll be all for it. If Charlie Cox shows up in this joint, even if they don't ever say Matt Murdock, if he looks like that and he is a lawyer, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But I don't need like, cause realistically, dog,
Daredevil has Zendaya's legs.
let me tell you something. If Charlie Cox is in this movie as Matt Murdock, and this dude doesn't suit up, knowing what this dude Peter the Parker has been doing, I'll be pissed, bro. It'll be the most fluke. Like, not even gonna try to get my man right. You just going, that's right. I think Charlie Cox does have Zendaya's legs, though. Honestly. I think it's the same. Hey, Jokes, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick about something that's happening in the background here with Restream.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see on my screen on the side where I look at y'all? It shows YouTube linked and it says paired.
Weird.
Like in the upper corner of your screen. Do you see that?
Yes, I do. The difference though, it's just you and Sin.
Right, the other two.
Yeah.
Right. Like they did an update and just didn't bother to tell us. Okay, it happens.
That's the story of Restream.
Like they do all the time.
We love you guys for giving us like extra things, but tell us what
you never warn us before you do stuff.
What it is.
They're probably sending an email directly to Jokes.
Nope. There's nothing there. You know what?
He has not checked, bro. Why do you say no? There's nothing. He has not
because checked. If it was because they're VIP in my phone, so it would come to my normal inbox.
That's some old Apple. I don't. All right. So J. Robert Dean said, I would have thought that if there was a lawyer in Spider-Man No Way Home, it would be Jess Walters, which is possible. I don't think Jen Walters. I don't know how they're gonna introduce She-Hulk. Maybe this dude is a lawyer that shows me like, we don't want to go with you. And they go with you know what I'm saying? They go with her. I mean, she's getting a show. We don't know how that's gonna happen. We'll have to see. Okay, look, let's talk about Forza Horizon. We've all had some time with it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Run me down. How are you feeling about it?
Loving it so far.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
You feeling pretty good about it? What about it? Is there something specific that sets this apart in some way from, I don't know, everything else?
I guess for me, because typically when it comes time for racing games, I more only play like the Need for Speed type of thing. And since I haven't gotten a decent Need for Speed game in I don't know how many years now, Forza now is starting to become that racing game that I go to. And normally I don't like the true, like the realisticness of when like you're race, you really gotta think like you're truly driving a real car. Like this doesn't necessarily have me thinking that mindset, but obviously, knowing when to truly slow down, cut corners, and do all that, you have to modify your car to the way that you actually want to race. Like I really I really enjoy and like that. I mean, that's a feature that they've done throughout the Forzas, but it's like I'm really digging what it is that they bought with this one. And of course now it's just a collection thing. Like I can keep getting cars. Like a race, give a reward, spin the wheel, get something, probably a new car. And it's like I just feel like, yo, I need to race with this car. I need to try this car out because I need to see if this works for what it is that I want to do. And if it does, now I'm about to go in here and I'm about to start changing the engine, changing pistons and all these different components to the car, and it just becomes a rabbit hole.
Sam, do me a favor. Look up what's the Metacritic right now for Forza Horizon 5.
That probably says 10.
Stupid high.
It has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone across the board is giving it amazing scores.
Jokes, you
92 on Metacritic.
That's pretty incredible.
Solid.
Right?
Yeah.
This is what I saw this post on Twitter. This is what I saw. I was like, wow, bro. Wow, bro. I don't know, bro, but here's the real reason why I bring this up. Because I'm enjoying Forza Horizon 5. I think that I'm not sure what Playground Games does specifically to top themselves every time they put one of these out. It's not how big the open world is. It's not, I mean, it is the different landscapes, the roads. There's something that is so addictive about seeing the lines fill in as you drive the roads and being like, well, I haven't even been over there yet.
That is crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, it's spooky whenever a game gets a 10 out of 10. Let me tell you something. The spinning the wheel, just driving in the open world, like not even doing the races, being able to pick a car and just drive it without getting into a race, doing a stunt, jumping into some tournament or whatever, and literally having every individual car have its own RPG mechanics. Literally being able to level up every car. So that you can take a car and like, I really like this car. I start driving with it, and now I get 10% more XP when I use this car. I get, more money when I finish a race using this car. I get this bonus for using this car. Like those things, not only do they make it so like it's crazy because like if you really like a car, you can just drive that joint to your heart's content inside and out of races, right? Like if all you really want to do is dirt races and you're in love with this rally car, that's your car. Run that joint and level that joint all the way up without ever getting into a race and then go get into races. You know what I'm saying? If you want to.
Yeah.
But it also is like you get these wheel spins as you're doing that, and then they give you a new car. You're like, I should probably try this car out, right? Like you said, Jokes. Then you do that, and you start leveling that car up, and you start, you know what I mean? Like it's just, there's something so perfect about it. Cuddy said, I've never bought a racing game. I loved Outrun. That game is so clean, fun watching. Let me tell you something. Again, Game Pass. That's the other thing about this game. Game Pass. This is like Outrun, though, in so many ways. It is an arcade racer through and through, but the elements they give you in terms of RPG and in terms of, like, it's Forza. So it still has, like, if you really want to go in and tweak the suspension on the front and the back of the car individually, you can, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things you can go in and tweak.
And it makes such a difference.
Feel the difference in the effect, right?
Absolutely.
It's incredible. And
it feels so great to play.
If you don't want to do dirt races, well, you can open up the joint and do street races. If you don't want to do street races, you can run and just do stunt. You can just drive as fast as you possibly can and jump off a ramp, bro, and see how far you can make it. And that is so addictive. Landing a jump, getting 2 stars and being like, hey, Slim, I know I need
that, especially when you land and you see like how close you were, like there's somebody else that just beat you out.
And
like,
you know what? I don't like what you said. I love the fact your friends play it, And if your friends have one of those records, it's just like, oh no, Gage, you ain't keeping this record. Like, I gotta get in here. So right now, Click on mine's probably has most of those spots because my man is grinding on this Joe.
Right.
You know, one of the things I love about Horizon 2 is the whole festival thing. Like, the game really makes you feel like you are at a festival. Like, it portrays that so well. From the music to the commentary that you're getting driving around. Like, just pulling into a festival place and just hear how the audio changes when you're there, from when you drive around the road. Like, they do there's so many little details along with the big details that make this game so great.
Bro, the barn finds.
Oh, gosh.
Just the addiction of going and trying to do the barn finds, trying to find all of them. Per se, why haven't driving games put in some type of mechanic where you actually run out of gas? I just think it would add to the experience if you had to refuel. I mean, here's what I will say. Jamie, please let me know how you feel about this game as soon as you get it. Here's what I will say. If you're playing a racing game like Forza Motorsport as opposed to Horizon, and you turn everything on, tire wear, all that kind of stuff, you need the pit stop. You know, like, you need the pit stop. They have Le Mans races in that joint that just run. You have to pit stop. I feel like most of the time that would just take the fun out of it for a lot of people because that is so much more sim-like, right? When they do that kind of stuff in games, like, isn't it, what's that zombie joint?
State of Decay.
State of Decay. Like, you get a car, you got to get fuel.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to fuel them up. And I don't mind that in games. It doesn't belong in this, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
That would destroy it.
The only other game I think that had it beside that was Mad Max. You had to go refill your car when you were driving around.
I think for that works.
It's that crack. So here's the real conversation I want to have. Not that we haven't been having a conversation this whole time about it, but here's a real conversation I want to have. What are the chances? Let me start by saying this. I believe this game deserves to be nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
I know it's a racing game. Where do y'all stand on that?
No, I fully agree with that. Just like you said, like, there's certain elements of this game that are just outside of the normal racing game elements. Just like I say, the RPG mechanics. I know they've done certain of these through all of the Horizon games, but in this one, it's just like an extra level of detail that they've put into it. Just like you said, the small things, just being able to just drive around and just experience. Like, if you just want to, you can just drive around, find all the roads, experience the world, and just see all these amazing places. I'm sure there's someone that's going to get the game that just wants to do that. And you know what? That's amazing. Go and do it. But, like, it's just so many. And I know I still haven't touched the surface of probably everything that's on there.
What will make this Game of the Year?
One, you're gonna get replay value. Like, I don't know if you can truly beat this game. I don't know. I'm sure you can get through the story or whatnot ever, but I don't really think there's a technical end to this game, which I think is a beautiful thing, and that you can keep going back until you unlock. Like, I can't say that there's an end all of you unlocking every single vehicle in this game. I'm sure there's a point where you can get, but then next thing you know, they just release the whole mode. They just add more DLC to it, and just keep going with it. This is something that I feel like has that potential. Just like Grand Theft, you just keep adding DLC to it, and you just keep feeding it.
Yeah, but they won't. They won't keep adding DLC to it. I'm not talking about how long can the game live on, Jokes. I'm asking you right now, this year, Game Awards is going to come December. This game is out. It's in the running. Is there any doubt in my mind that this game is likely to win Best Sports Game of the Year? No doubt in my mind.
Nope.
There's no doubt in my mind that this game deserves to be Best Sports Game of the Year.
Correct.
My question is, one, will it and should it get nominated for Game of the Year?
Yes.
Yes.
It should get nominated for Game of the Year.
Yes.
Why?
The improvements they made on it since the last one. I think that's one, because I was wondering going into it, like, okay, how are we going to make this different from the same old that it was last year? And the more I'm playing it, the more I'm finding new race types they added, all the different community features to bring the community together, like putting up your own events and all that type of stuff that I'm finding. The further I get into it, I'm like, okay, that's really dope. The accessibility features that they've added to it this around, dope.
Okay.
So I think that plus everything that we've all talked about, it definitely deserves to be nominated for Game of the Year. I do.
Yeah, I mean, Floyd, I feel you. I'm not saying they won't keep adding cars. They they can keep adding cars. My personal opinion is that there will be a Forza Horizon 6, and when Forza Horizon 6 comes out, they'll stop doing DLC for 5. Like, again, there is a reason for the game to continue to have longevity. You can always continue to add cars and put new stuff in it, but at some point you want to take those resources and put them into putting something new together and give us a new environment. Like, I think what they've done with Mexico is incredible. I think that the difference is in the biomes. There are like 9 different biomes in this game. I think that any game that is getting 10s the way this game is getting 10s, perfect scores. Not perfect game, because that's not really a thing, but perfect scores. And we're talking about perfect scores or almost perfect scores from any and everyone who does game reviews across the board, right? What is it about? What needs to change? Because I don't think this joint's going to get nominated. I don't even think it's going to get nominated. I think there'll be a couple of indie games that show up. I think Psychonauts 2 is probably going to get nominated. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a possibility of Returnal is in that conversation. I don't feel like games like this, because of the genre they fall into, are ever considered for Game of the Year. And this is a discussion that, Sin, at least you and I have had before about how, like, sports games and stuff like that, no matter how good they seem to be,
they're never in the running for that Game of the Year
they never
conversation.
Seem to get, and it's like, okay, so the only way you can be Game of the Year, as impeccable of a developer as Playground Games is, with what they do with this title every time they put one out. These are top tier developers, bruh. The time and effort and work that they put in making this game,
it shows.
Right?
It shows, yes.
Filming, listen to me, going out for weeks and filming the sky at 12K to put the skybox into the game. 12K, bruh. The time, effort, work, capturing the sounds, every car, putting all the details in, right? And then giving you this environment. Like, racing games have always been showcases for brand new consoles. Always. Here's why. Traditionally, in any racing game, what you have, like in a lot of fighting games, is you have the ability for the system itself to load this track. That's it. So everything can look beautiful, right? You don't have to worry about people. You don't have to worry about, right? You don't have all that other stuff going on in the background and whatever, right? And so now they've gotten to the point where they start doing dynamic weather and there's all that kind of stuff. And I haven't really seen that too much in here. Day-night cycle is beautiful. So traditionally, like, racing games have been, you take them, you put them into this scenario. It's like giving you a vertical slice of the game, and we can make it as beautiful as possible, right? So, like, it's crazy to me when I see somebody, like, post on Twitter, and they're like, if you look at Gran Turismo Sport, and you look at this, and you look at the same car, and they feel like there's more detail in Gran Turismo Sport. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything. You take the car, you put the car in Forza Vista mode, and then you compare them. Don't pull that joint out the open world. This joint gives you a full open world, bro. Driving through trees and bushes and houses and rocks and bricks and signs. Fences. And, like, literally all of the things. There it is, dog. All of the things that they have to do, all the time and effort and work that they put in to give you an open world racing game, which, by the way, you can jump in with a bunch of your friends.
Yeah, I
and
think it's
all
like
of y'all
12
just
people.
go out
Yeah.
and
just do
run
what you
amok.
want.
Just drive.
Yeah.
It is an incredible feat. Possibly more incredible than what it takes to do a God of War or a Horizon or a Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, or Senua
Nah.
2, right? Because we give so much credit to the fact that they put a person in a motion capture suit and then they take that captured footage and they lay something over top of it. But you didn't do that. Somebody acted that, and you paid
Right.
somebody to do it, and you use the technology to take what they did and you laid something over it. That's not the same thing, right?
Yeah,
And I
and since
do
you got
understand.
Forza, when every single car drives completely different from the
Bro.
other one, nothing feels the same. Like Joe was saying, you get a new car, you have to try it out. Just because it's an all-wheel drive car, don't mean it's going to drive
It's
like
not
the
the
other
same.
all-wheel
Same
car.
all-wheel
That you're
drive.
not going to do that.
Not even. And
Yeah,
especially as you level that joint up. Go ahead and
Yes.
push that joint from like a B tier joint to like a S1.
Oh, it will
Oh,
not be the
woo.
same.
You might not like the car then anymore.
Straight up.
You might
Straight up.
like, nah, let me run that back. Let me reset
And
it.
that's and a lot of people think just because you push all
Car
those
clubs are the
stats,
best and
all
combo.
the you push it all the way up to the highest that you could get to, it's not the same. Like I downloaded because you can download other people's variations of the cars. So like I took which one? It was an Aston Martin that I had one, and I had moved it up to an S1. I think it was like 9. I think the level was like 930 something or something like that. But someone also did a tweak to it, but it was only like 905. But the thing was, because of the certain additions that they put to it, that 905 level one was actually faster than my level 931.
Yeah.
Because of the certain tweaks that they did.
Mhm.
So yes, it was faster, but the
As far as the
handling
score.
on it wasn't as good as what mine's was. I focused on getting the speed to a certain point, but then making sure the handling was good, because once you hit certain corners going at like 200 miles an hour, that's like
You will fly through a wall or through a stop in a heartbeat.
But it's just those small differences that you see in how a person can build the car, and where it may drive nice, it may not fit your style.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm ready to start a petition if this joint doesn't at least get nominated. Straight up. Because I feel like
no arguments here.
The time and effort that these developers put in to making this game so incredible, and it reviewing the way it's all about the downforce jokes. The way that this joint, the everything about this game, I mean, this joint is pitch perfect. Like I don't have any complaints. I don't. You know what I mean? And again, I know it's a racing game, bro. It's not, you know what I mean? I think having it in Game Pass is gonna open a lot more people's eyes to it.
Agreed.
But I do think that it's time to start really kind of pointing the finger and pushing the people who make these Game of the Year decisions to really start looking beyond. Like everything doesn't need to be a single player, narrative driven story. You know what I mean? Like story, like that's not all there is. And that's not all people want. That's not all people play. And I don't necessarily feel like because you give something a category, right? There's a best multiplayer game category, right? Which this could get lumped into, right?
Yeah,
this could be in, the best multiplayer game. It could be in best competitive game. It could be under best sports title nomination. This game has the potential to be nominated for 5 or 6 categories and win them.
Yes.
Shouldn't something that is able to be in 5 or 6 categories also automatically
makes sense to me?
The total Game of the Year
makes sense to me.
Agree.
Yeah, it should be. It deserves the nomination.
Ellis, that is a lot of energy, but when have you known me not to have a lot of energy, bro? Got to keep that same energy. Floyd said you have to have cars tuned for every scenario: wet, dry, rally, drift, off-road, drag racing. That's why I love it. And listen, and I appreciate that. Like, for real, in the last joint, man, putting snow tires on a joint made all the difference, bro, when it was winter. You know what I mean? Like, that's so incredible that they do that. J. Robert Dean says one of the reasons I don't game is because I can't just pick up a game and play for 10 minutes when I need a break. Games require major time investment now. This game isn't like that.
Yeah.
The thing about that's another one of the things about this game that is so beautiful is that literally, like, if I just want to blow off some steam or whatever, I can just jump in and literally just pick a car and just go driving. I don't have to get in a race and worry about whether I come in first, second, or third. I don't have to do a street race and try to beat somebody or whatever and push my anxiety level up. I can literally just get in a car. I can get in the Warthog from Halo, dog.
You can get in the Warthog from Halo.
Drive around, let the music play. Look at the beautiful, the beautiful vistas that they've created in these games. Those different biomes, from the volcanoes to the snowy peaks to the beaches with the water coming up on the end, like the beautiful skybox and the stuff lighting up in the background when it gets nighttime. Like, you can just cruise if you want to, or you
just
can
ride
drive
around and get fast travel
as reckless as you can possibly drive, and still level up for doing it. So if you just jump in for 10 or 15 minutes, you can pick a car and just drive that joint in circles. You can drive that joint in circles and run over things and hit things and whatever. Those freaking XP signs, the fast travel
those
signs.
Are like crack.
The crack, bro.
Those are like crack. Especially when you get the one and you're looking at like, how do y'all expect me to get that one?
Why is that joint on the roof of this building?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to get that joint?
When I saw the one on the plane, I was like, how do y'all expect me to get that one off the wing of a plane?
Real talk. Real talk. It's one of those things where, like, as a person who has on this very show professed that, like, the Ubisoft, just fill the map up with a bunch of stuff to do and just go do it. It's starting, like, that thing is starting to get old to me. When Forza comes out, it's just like, I see all this stuff to do, and like, yeah, I'll go back to the same stunt jump 15 times. I could just let me hit this next stunt jump and let me hit the next one. I want that third star, man. And it's I think it's the carrot on the stick, right? Like, I've complained before, like, how like old Assassin's Creed games eventually got to the point where it used to be like, all right, you got to collect every feather. But doing that actually netted you something. Right? You're not just doing it because you get to collect them and you can say you got all 100 of them or whatever. Doing that gave you access to a particular suit, and that suit actually did something, right? So there was a carrot at the end of the stick, and you could actually get that carrot. Versus something like Jedi Fallen Order, which has a bunch of ponchos laying around that don't do anything. Just give me the joints. Just let me download them. Just give me the DLC and let me download them. Why I gotta run around looking for them? That, like, it doesn't actually reward you, and they don't even look all that great compared to one another, right? So this joint does a great job of rewarding you for everything you do, even when you're not doing anything.
Very true.
You just gain an XP, and the little bar starts to fill up, and then they be like, wheel spin, you be like, beep!
Yes, go!
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I honestly do believe that
yes,
this game,
you had to be mean to the ponchos.
I know there's still stuff coming out. Yeah, the ponchos are garbage. I know there's other stuff coming out. There's no doubt in my mind that this game should at least be nominated and highly considered. If it's not,
it's a problem.
Get ready.
It's a problem if it doesn't get nominated. That's on 100.
Man, hey Floyd, let me tell you something. He said I like hearing the engine sounds while driving. Let me tell you something. This joint, I don't even go into the Forza Vista mode that often. I do go in there because I like looking at the Loading Snacks logo on the cars when I put the joints on there, right? So I go in there. But here's the thing. Prior to this, like, you couldn't rev the engine before. Now when you like update and you make changes to it,
you can hit it
rev
and
the engine.
I love it.
Listen to it, dog.
I did not know that.
Bro, it's like crack.
It was I've done the stream.
I've yet to tinker with cars yet like that.
To pull it in, dude.
Yep.
Know what I'll be doing when I get off? I gotta go rev some engines.
Go rev some engines.
Go rev some engines, dude. Switch some parts out. I'm like, ooh.
Pepsi Man said Forza is like horror movies and the Oscars. Only one horror movie has won Best Picture, Silence of the Lambs. Which I don't even know if people consider that a horror movie. I don't think that is considered a horror movie by most people. I think they consider it a thriller,
I don't.
not a horror movie.
Yeah, thriller.
You know, like that's it. It is that way. It's a lot like what we've talked about time and time again with like how superhero movies are really beginning to push things and edge things out, and they really should be more and more considered for the movie of the year, for best picture, and that kind of a thing. If they're not, you know, super careful about how they change the rules for what qualifies a movie, it is certainly not which movie sells the most tickets, makes the most money, and makes the most people happy. That's clearly not, you know, what wins that kind of a thing. So I'm just know I'm gonna have my eyes open for sure. I want to know, Sin, did you see this? Did you see this?
No, I did not see this.
You didn't see that?
No, I did not.
No, it's crazy, dog. If you look at the fourth line from the left, you'll see discordant sound raid. See that?
Yep.
Right below that.
See new hero. It says new hero event, Spider-Man only on PlayStation.
Can I tell you something?
What you want to tell me?
This is the worst, and I mean the worst announcement for anything Spider-Man I have ever seen in my entire life. Bro, you're telling me that PlayStation is getting an exclusive character for this game, and that character is Spider-Man, who is, like it or not, the most popular superhero on the planet. And this is what you do. You put out a tweet.
You couldn't do a trailer with him in it, kind of showing him off or anything?
Nope.
What?
That makes sense to me.
Don't get it twisted. I know Square Enix came out last week and put the press on the developer like, yeah, we just feel like they wasn't a good fit for it. But you picked them.
Right.
You, Square Enix, chose Crystal Dynamics, who does and always has specialized in single-player games, to helm a multiplayer game that is also supposed to be a game as a service. And now you're saying, just after a year of it being out, you don't think they were the right fit. You don't say.
Nah, you keep that to the chest at this point.
You can look at their track record beforehand.
Listen.
They might not be the best fit for this game. And what you're trying to do with it.
Give me a second. I need to address something. Hey, Jimmy.
I was about to say, I was waiting for.
I love you, bro. Now get out of the comments. J. Robert Dean's, maybe it's the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man. Maybe it's the Spider-Man from PS4. Like, we don't know. We don't know nothing.
They're going to have all their outfits in it, you know, in the store to go purchase all the different ones.
Is this content ever coming to other consoles? Is it coming to Xbox and PC? That's what I want to know.
PC, I see the potential.
I'm going to say yes after a year.
Okay.
I don't know.
After a year.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Destiny 1. They did this exact same thing where there was certain weapons that you could only get on PlayStation, and then they had the specific strikes that were only available, and it took. Well, I don't think we saw that until like year.
Right.
2?
It was a year. They had
it was a year. Yeah.
It was a year. Okay,
yeah.
I knew.
Because they had the one strike, they had the Hawk Moon and the Monte Carlo.
Right.
I will say this: it depends on which variation of Spider-Man they're using. If they're using Insomniac Spider-Man that's going to be in here, I feel like they won't. It'll stay PlayStation. But
I don't think they are.
If it's some fresh looking new thing, whether they obviously the suits will come from the other movies as they've done with the other characters in it. But if this is like a built from the ground up version of Spider-Man that's just for the Avengers, then I see him being on the other consoles as well.
Yeah, I like J. Robert Dean's thought on it that it'll go to other platforms when the No Way Home film hits physical media in March. That could be very interesting.
Okay.
because they
It's
could do something. They could pack something into the
I
physical
was about to
media
say, yeah.
to say, "Hey, here's a
your
code," or "Go try the game,"
You
or
get the
"Here's an
outfit
XP
from
boost."
yeah, you get that
You're gonna
outfit
get
from No
one
Way
of the
Home or whatever.
outfit. Don't
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one from the
outfit
movie,
with
you'll
the
get the
XP.
outfit with it,
Right.
punching the code, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly see them making it so that like the Insomniac PlayStation 4 Spider-Man outfit is exclusive to PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, for them to literally, like, again, if you look at it, this is November 30th. All of this stuff is happening. New earnable cosmetics, new enemy types, the Echoes, outfits inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Already been doing
They already
that.
have some of those. The Discordant Sound Raid, new hero event Spider-Man, ongoing activities and events, Corrupted Vibranium, Red Room Takeover, bonus XP weekends, which is, again, already stuff that exists. Rework system, so power level cap increase, gear upgrading, resources, per hero weekly objectives. We are, 2 weeks out
Yep.
from this.
Yeah.
And a Hawkeye nameplate challenge for Disney Plus, which again is coming out on the 30th, and the first couple episodes of Hawkeye will be out at that point, which originally wasn't going to be a thing, but it is now. Yeah, again, this is one of those things I find super interesting, and it does make me wonder whether or not, Sony has just been like, because they're so disappointed with, not Sony specifically, but as a whole, like Square Enix and so forth, that they're so disappointed with what the sales have been like. For it, that they're just like, I mean, yeah, we got Spider-Man. I mean, again, you would think you would want to put some pomp and circumstance behind it and hope that it would generate more sales of the title specifically for PlayStation. And then more people would go out and buy it now because it's been a year, right? And we did learn that there was a clause that was in the contract that said that they weren't allowed to put the game in Game Pass for a year. Maybe not specifically Game Pass, but like streaming services. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we know that Sony is doing those kinds of deals with people. Like, hey, look, we're gonna give you some money. Go ahead, let us get an exclusive little something.
Right.
But you can't put it in Game Pass.
Keep it away from that for us.
Not put it there.
Say that again. You said we can't put it where? You can't put it in Game Pass.
Hey. Crystal Dynamics of 3DO Crash and Burn fame. Crystal Dynamics of like Tomb Raider fame.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider reboot fame. Straight up. Yeah, that whole chart is something you have to be aware of for a game. And yes, that's part of the reason why you don't game. J. Robert Deans. But the idea, here's the thing. Ever since, I want to say EverQuest. It might really be World of Warcraft. But I want to say since EverQuest, there has been a turning tide in game development to really push people to only play one game. We don't want you to have time to play anything else. Play this game, pay us monthly, buy cosmetics, buy our DLC, get the upgrade. We'll boost the level cap. What do you want us to do? You want to be 100? We'll make it, you can be 100. They just did it with Ghost Recon. Took the joint, level cap was 30. They pushed the level cap to 99, bruh. 99.
3 times the work. Do it.
You took me back with the EverQuest. Whew.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's part of it. Like, I remember
lived there
you
for
got
a while.
hooked on that crap, and you tried to get me hooked. You told me the first hit is free. I remember when World of Warcraft, man, when they sent me a disc, they just gave me a disc. Like, here, just play it. I was like, nah, dog.
No.
Now you get me roped into that.
Nah,
That was a problem. I'll never forget when the first time I got a World of Warcraft disc and had to install and start playing it. I did not get out of it for, I don't know. I bought like 2 of the upgrades at this time. This was like early days.
You're the target audience anyway, dog.
Hey, I get in and I start playing. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it.
I mean, that's cool. And that's what it is. I mean,
that was
again,
right around the Leroy Jenkins thing. I think it's when
Yeah, World of Warcraft. I tried it when it first came out, but then I ended up switching back over to consoles mostly. But before World of Warcraft, I was on all those MMOs.
Yeah.
All
I
of them.
really do look at like, you know, again, like an RPG comes out and I'm like, man, I really want to play that, but I don't really have 120 hours. And it's just because I want to play so much other stuff. It's not even that I couldn't, like I could just play that game, but I'm not going to. Like my taste is so eclectic. I want to do so many different things, and my moods change from like what I want to play and what is going to satisfy me in the moment. Might be a racing game, might just want to get in and play a puzzle game real quick, might be a little Miss Pac-Man, might be, you know what I mean? Like it could be any number of things, and I like all of it. You know what I mean? So like, unless something has the magic crack and just puts that hook. Like right now, I am consistently Forza and Ghost Recon.
Yep.
Consistently. Those two. And it will wane. And the reason why it will wane is because Halo is coming. And it might be March when they do the co-op. But I have to at least jump in and mess with it because we're gonna need to talk about it. You know what I mean? We'll have to be able to talk about it here. So I have a choice. I could choose and I could say right here, listen, if y'all want my opinion, it's gonna have to wait till co-op. But I do think that there is something to be said for. It's interesting to me because I do feel like Halo, as cooperative as it has always been from day one, is technically built as a single player experience.
Yeah.
The idea of being the lone Master Chief, showing up, great white hope to save the world. You're supposed to be by yourself. In the cutscenes, you're the only guy. Yep. It's you and your imaginary friend Cortana, dog. There's nobody else there.
Who is this Cortana? She's right there.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. Wouldn't it be amazing if we found out at the end of this game that nobody else had ever seen Cortana except that dude? Like nobody knew. Like, what do you mean? Who built this AI? So there is a part of me that's kind of like, it might be kind of interesting to actually go in and play a Halo solo, because I don't ever. You know what I mean? And so I might, just to see what it's like and be able to talk comparatively about how it feels to play it solo versus what it feels like to play with other people. Because part of what I feel like is happening with this game in particular is that this open world, much more of a sandbox version of the world that they have built for this game, might actually have been built with co-op in mind. That you are looking at, how are we going to take down? We're going to go and take over this encampment or whatever. You're over there. You got the rockets. You got this. We're going to call in the ship and do this. Like, it almost feels like, looking at it, they may have purposefully, for once, actually built the world for there to be 4 Spartans running around all up in the mayhem. We'll have to see.
Be here before we know it.
Oh, you ain't lying. Okay. We're gonna talk about Eternals. We will keep this spoiler free. We do have to do a spoiler, boys. Everybody seen it, right?
No.
You haven't seen it.
Okay. I have not.
Okay. So Sin, let's talk.
Okay.
We just act like Jokes is not here, just like we always do. So,
all right, let's do it.
I'm the fly on the wall. Just ignore me.
Sin, I would really like to know what your overall impressions of Eternals are.
My overall impression of Eternals was, it was okay. That was it. It was cool. It was okay. Like,
he's sipping his tea.
I don't know if he agrees or disagrees with me, but that's how I felt, you know. That's how I felt by the time I left the theater. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure, I probably didn't catch a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be extremely important, down the line stuff that happened in this movie and everything. But right now, just off the initial viewing, going to see Eternals, waiting for it, came out like, it was okay. Personally.
Hey, this is the most beautiful. This is the most beautiful MCU film ever made. It is gorgeous. Chloe Zhao put her foot in this film. I'm not saying it's a great film, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So I like this movie. I don't love it. I like it. I feel about it the way I felt about the first few episodes of WandaVision, the first few episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think there is something new happening with the Marvel Cinematic Universe in its maturity. The first run of films, when I say that, I mean all of the films that lead up to what is existentially the demise of the Avengers before they just aged out, which is essentially where we are, right? Those actors have aged out of playing those characters for the most part. Those films were almost all shot with a beginning, middle, and end, and they are definitive. This is what this movie is, right? And then what they do is they tack on an end credit scene or whatever that says, oh man, they might be doing a thing, but you really had no idea how all of it was going to tie together. And it took Endgame, Infinity War to be the shoestrings on the shoe to tie it all up and bring it all together. You could see the threading happening as you were watching it, as it matured, as we got into years 7, 8, 9, 10. What's happening now is everything they're doing is being done much more like a comic book, where when the issue is over, it's not over, and we have to wait for the next issue to see what's going on and what's going to happen. And so we are no longer getting deep. The movies now seem to be running like episodes. There's another episode next week, so we can leave you with a cliffhanger. They weren't really giving us cliffhangers. If you go back and you look at that first run of like 20 films, they're not really giving you cliffhangers. When it's done, it's done. There are always some underlying things that are not quite closed off.
Right.
But when Iron Man 2 is over, it's over.
Right.
Justin Hammer is out. You know what I'm saying? The Whiplash is done. Never see that dude again. We don't even need to talk about something. Right? Now, because people are aware that this is an ongoing thing, because people are aware that it is, in fact, a universe, that all of these characters are tied to one another, right? That let's take a chance on Guardians of the Galaxy. And when that happened, we didn't know if there was going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Right? Right now, we have a slate that runs through like 2024. A bunch of movies that we know, even though they're not, some of them are sequels to films that we've already had, right? Like New Doctor Strange or whatever.
Right.
But like, we don't have a Shang-Chi 2,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But we know we're going to see Shang-Chi again.
Yes, we do.
It almost doesn't matter whether or not his movie did well or not. Slim's going to be back.
Mhm.
I guarantee you he signed on for multiple films. You understand
I'm
what I'm
sure he
saying?
did. Yeah.
And so, whether we get a Shang-Chi 2, not as important as the fact that we will see Shang-Chi again in some other Marvel
Right.
Cinematic Universe film.
Right. Like you said, just with like the new Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch is going to be in it. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So she could show up. You know,
Doctor Strange being in Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. Zaina, 2 things. 1, use your own account. 2, you don't say bussing. 3, the BTS was not that bussing. They were not in it. They were mentioned in it. We had this discussion.
You see that frustration in his face?
You can see it.
There are names in the credits, in the music section. They did say it. So yes, BTS has been named in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
This is an important thing because South Korea is an important thing to Disney. So, yes, they are a part of it. It's just them and Beyonce, though. By name. No, 1, no, 2, yes, we do. 3, yes, it was, and the song was very good. And the song was very good. Bye. Okay, bye. However, we also had this discussion.
About what?
Are you ready? You're not ready for this, jokes, but get ready for this. Do me a favor. Hold it, just hold yourself. Just hold yourself. Just hold yourself for me.
All right.
Okay? Prepare yourself for this. Sin. Superman is canon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We had to bring him up. Who's trying to bring him up for? Who's doing good?
Mentioned by name multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
Interesting.
He was.
I mean, DC's done that too, with mentioning certain Marvel characters.
Let me tell you something.
Nah. He was mentioned, bro.
He was mentioned.
Like mentioned.
Let me do this. The Eternals is a better Justice League film than Justice League. But that is what the Eternals are. They are Marvel's Justice League.
And it worked.
The Justice League are the gods of the DC universe. Each of them represent the gods. That's what they are. Right?
I can agree with
that. Right? The Eternals are that equivalent. And I'm going to tell you right now, the MCU has out Justice Leagued the Justice League.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Mercari has outflashed the
Flash.
Yes. Oh, just the trailer alone.
It is definitive.
Hey, look, she's smoking Flash boots.
Smoking this dude. What?
She's smoking his boots.
Right off. Mercari is the one, bruh.
Oh, I love her.
Liberty Mutual ads are better JLL themes in it. Listen.
Liberty.
Maybe a little bit. This I enjoyed this movie. This movie is entirely too long. Now they ain't calling by his mama's name. Straight up Superman. Straight up Superman. Call Slim by his name, his American name.
Now, and when they mention him, do they mention him as in like he exists, like really, or like he's like?
Listen, I'll tell you, because they actually did release. There is actually, it's not a trailer, but there's like a featurette that has this in it. So like, literally, there's a child who sees Icarus and says, "Oh man, that's Superman." Like, nah, dog, that's not Superman, right? And then says, nah, I seen him. I saw him flying. He was in London. I saw him flying and shooting lasers from his eyes, and he had a cape. And the Icarus like, I don't wear a cape, dude. You know what I'm saying?
No
And
capes.
then Festos says to Icarus, so I just call you Clark now? I just call you Clark? Is that what we doing? Straight up. Like they just like no, they just did it. They just went. They just went. And that's the spoiler boys that's getting on this episode. Yeah, man, look. I think this film is too long. I still love me some Angelina Jolie, boy. Listen. I love every one of these characters. Every one of these characters, I in some manner, like they're all so different. They all have such different like attitudes and thought processes and ways of seeing the world. Their abilities are so different from one another. Like, for all intents and purposes, like if you look at the Justice League, like Superman and Martian Manhunter are basically the same guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, their power sets are stupid close. Batman and Green Arrow, same dude. You know what I'm saying? I would bet you this one for the books. Hey, dog, hear me out.
No.
Can Batman out archery Green Arrow? Is he a better archer than Green Arrow? Can he?
No, but they were write it that way.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I hate him, dog. I hate, like.
No, but they would definitely.
He's trained by the greatest assassins on the planet. He can out assassin all of those assassins. He has no powers though. He can out assassin all those assassins. And they would have had to train him to fire a bow and arrow. Have to. On horseback.
You're right.
Oh shit.
I'm just saying. I honestly do. I love each one of these characters. Even the ones I don't like, I like why I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all conflicted in really super important ways. The message that exists within this movie might be a little heavy-handed for an MCU film. But again, MCU films are not superhero films. They are films about other things that have super-powered individuals in them. And they have been jumping genres. There's a love story which doesn't really exist in the MCU anywhere. Am I right?
I mean, Tony and Pepper, kind of, but not like
Black
this.
Widow and Hulk. Like that.
But I'm saying, I see what you're saying. Like they're sprinkled throughout, but not like it is in this movie.
Yeah. Who shops at IKEA? Yeah, that's Festos. Yeah. And there's a lot to that character. Super important threads about that character. This movie it's weird. I feel like if this movie was not an MCU film, people would be all over it. Like, it would be one of the most incredible people to be like, oh my God, what they had to do, and they were in love, and you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that it might be the kind of film that most people who go to watch an MCU film are not looking for. It might be a little bit too far left because the action is there. Like, it's there. But the meanings are a little too deep. It's not really political. It's not a political thriller. It's not government. It's not, you know what I mean? But I like the film. I mean, it's not top 10. It's probably not even top 15. Yet.
So something
But
sews
let me
that
tell you
thread
something.
and connects it up.
There is one thing that Marvel does better than anybody else does, and it is mother-loving end credit scenes, bro.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
going to tell you something. While them joints might have flew past under the radar for a lot of people, them end credit scenes were not lost on me. Like, I already knew Kit Harington's character is the Black Knight. I already knew that. I knew where it was going.
Yeah.
Didn't know if we would see him at all in this, but like, Black Knight is a threat, has been a member of the Avengers, and done all kinds of stuff for years. Multiple people have been the Black Knight. There are 2 scenes at the end of this film.
Had to do next to me in the theater. After the first one went off, he got up. I said, "Hey, cuz, there's one more." He was like, "For real?"
No,
Like, yeah, just
stop.
sit back down.
Stop
What?
it.
I was looking
Nah,
out
you
for
did the
him.
right thing. You did the right thing. I almost
is-
did that, but I
I
didn't.
give up. No, I'm tired of like trying to warn
look,
folks. Like it's a Marvel
He waited
movie.
for one. He knew the way. He just didn't know it was 2 of them. That's
Right.
all.
That's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Marvel
cool.
movie- No, you wait now. Marvel movies, you sit through the whole
No,
credits. Like it's
no,
a
you
thing.
don't. Once the credits roll, I go on my phone. How many after end credit scenes are there? 1. Okay, after the 1, I know I can get up and leave. I'll look it up now once the movie's over.
I don't trust him. I just sit. I'm cool. I don't mind because I ain't really trying to be in the crowd leaving anyway. If it weren't still mid-pandemic, do you think more folks would see it, even though it's MCU because of Zhao? Maybe. What I think is that this movie is going to do incredibly well outside of the US. Like, I think this movie is going to do super well because it is filled with people having the opportunity to see themselves as superheroes. If
Didn't I hear it get pulled from some places overseas because of
the full
the
Bollywood, yeah, it's already out.
Yeah.
But the full Bollywood, like South Koreans, like Hindu, it's so full. The cast is so diverse,
Mm-hmm.
and the parts that the characters play are also important. And the fact that all of them have such differing abilities, and that they are representatives of gods, essentially from that path, from those pathos, right? That like that your South Korean character is Gilgamesh, right? It's I do think this will hit so big outside of here that it doesn't matter. And I think it's the kind of thing that is exactly what Disney and Marvel have been attempting to do for the last, I'm going to say at least 6 years, which is break into China, break into South Korea, break into Africa, like just break into India, right? And have people love what they see themselves in these heroes, in these characters, and identify.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the one that's going to do it.
One thing I didn't see coming that I was very entertained by was I can't remember the character's name, but the Indian guy, whatever. He was a lot more funny than I expected him to be in the film.
Neil Kunjiani.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his character was great, and the dude who was with him.
Yes. Great.
Oh, that's the other joint they dropped in the joint, because Slim was like, "This is my chauffeur," and he was like, "Oh, like Batman has Alfred. Drop Slim in this joint too."
Yeah.
Drop Slim in this joint too, bruh. Yeah, they went hard in this joint, dog. They ain't playing no games. Let me tell you something. They're also after the DC fans, dog. They coming to get them.
Hey, they can do it. It's like because DC fans don't know what to do right now.
Exactly.
Their universe is broke.
Yeah. And you're right, J. Robert Dean.
Shambles.
Has proof. BT and S being used in this script.
Shambles.
Saying the word, saying BTS, playing their songs in this movie is a huge deal. That market not only means so much to them, But to so many people here, it's a global phenomenon and you can't shake that. So it's smart business. It is. Definitely not my favorite MCU film. Definitely not. But listen to me. Sin, I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
When you watch the end credit scene with Dane, with Kit Harington's character, did you know what was going on?
I knew that he was supposed to be the Black Knight, even though I know nothing about the Black Knight. Okay. So once I saw the scene, I was like, "Oh, okay, it's about to be something with that going on." You know what I mean? So I knew that. Then
you recognize that somebody said something to him at the end, like right at the end of that scene. Like there was a voice that said, "You sure you ready for that?"
Yeah.
Did you know what that was?
No, I didn't.
So I'm going to tell you what that was.
Please.
That was Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Straight up. Black Knight, I was
and they have definitely worked together.
Yeah, I was going to
in the comic books. The two of them was part of a team called like M13 or MI13. It was like a British intelligence joint that was kind of like a Avengers, and they was on squad together. Straight up.
Blade in. I mean, hey,
they be dropping joints. You understand what I'm saying?
Sprinkle it in there.
I knew walking out the theater, I was like, I know there's so much stuff that I didn't catch up or pick up on and stuff like that, because I'm not familiar with the Eternals like at all. So I'm pretty sure after gaining that knowledge and going back and watching it, I'll be able to appreciate things a little better.
Someone's upset.
Relax.
But hey,
relax, because that's not really.
But here's why. Because of scenes like that, you have to watch with subtitles on, because they end up giving them away someplace in there. You see, just like how you say, sometimes you have to watch the things like that, and so you can hear, like you'll see whether they put a character's name, or they put the mysterious figure or whatever it is that they put in there.
Listen, I'm not telling you why. I'm not telling you who else was in the other end credit scene. I'm just gonna let you experience that.
I heard it's.
Don't you do it? Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. Don't you do it? Don't you
do it? Look at him about to do it.
Because we know
look at him about to do it.
No, I'm not. I don't know who. No, I don't know who.
So it's just important.
Saying. Okay, cool.
Don't say
I just heard it was mind blowing. That's what I was getting.
Sure. Yep. We'll take that. And yes, captions, not subtitles. Indeed. Nana said, "Stop spoiling." Let me tell you something about being on your own account. Sin.
Yo.
Let's talk about the Fast and Furious.
What about it?
You see what happened last week?
Yeah, Vin Diesel trying to get The Rock to come back for the finale as Hobbs, and I want to see that as well.
Hey, dog, let me tell you why I hate this.
Why?
Let me tell you why I hate this.
Family.
Because the way he did it was so disrespectful. It was so disrespectful. This dude called The Rock little brother.
He did do that, and I was kind of like,
he called him. I was looking at that joint like, "Hey, dog, The Rock will whoop yo." What you talking about, dog? It was so disrespectful that it's like it's fake. That's the problem that I have with it. Is it's so fake. Like, you don't actually want this dude in it. You do recognize Slim as a bigger action star than you are. You are totally tight in the panties about it. And so you extended a fake olive branch with broken leaves. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Hey, little brother, why don't you come back on over here and let me take care of you? That dude don't need you.
My man go off and make some other Fast and Furious.
That dude don't need you.
He about to run for president.
Fast and Furious joint without you. Without your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You out there trying to strike my man's end credit scenes from the end of your movie that you didn't know was on the joint. Come on, Slim, you getting dog. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, Zane, to say it for me? Don't do that. I don't know how she say it, but she said something like that. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. It felt completely disrespectful.
Yeah, the little brother thing. I had to pause reading it.
I don't disagree. Like, the more I was reading it, I was like, It seems kind of like I'm not.
I was working on Hobbs and Shaw 2 through 12.
Could
Hey.
be. Hey, I'm gonna read this joint to you. This Burma said, "Quote:
I was like, you got to read
My
this
little
voice.
brother Dwayne.
You got to read this
Dot
voice.
dot dot. First of all, dog.
Oh, dot.
Let me stop you right there, dog. My little brother Dwayne.
My little.
What are you doing, dog? That's not how you start this, bro.
Should have just
you know
said
what I'm saying?
family.
You could say my brother Dwayne, my main stain Dwayne. Like, get on your bars game, bro. Don't do that. The time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. There is not a holiday that goes by that they and you don't send well wishes. Dot dot dot. But the time has come. Legacy awaits. I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo. Hey, dog, listen. All right. Two things. One, don't pull Paul Walker into this little beef between y'all. Don't do that. That's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Don't use your children as leverage against this dude. You soft. You know what I'm saying? And don't start the joint off calling this man your little brother. I don't care if you are older than him. Like,
fam.
That's so disrespectful, bro.
Right.
Hey, yo, straight up, dog. Like,
hey, yo, fam, just come on. Let's finish this. Put a bow on it. You know what I mean? And get this money.
But here's the thing.
You could just say,
don't make it public. Why did you do that? So that The Rock can seem like the bad guy.
Yeah,
the bad guy.
To put the press on him.
He doesn't show up. Let me tell you something. Jokes, listen, I know you love wrestling, and you are by far one of the biggest wrestling fans I've ever known. But I'm going to tell you what. My wrestling history is impeccable, and I want you to know there are few people in the entire history of pro wrestling that are greater heels than the original Rock. The Rock, Rocky Maivia, corporate champ, turned people's champ. Dog, if there is a man who can take you trying to make him a heel and flip that joint into being a face, you picked the wrong one, Vin Diesel. You picked the wrong one. Straight up.
A pro. My man invented most of that stuff.
Listen, one of my most watched YouTube clips of all time is this dude going to Tyrese's forehead. All time, bro.
Everybody
off the top of the head, like, come for me then, bro.
Hey, that was so smooth.
Ready for it.
Yeah, he was right on it.
Bruh.
I love they kept that in the
Ludacris
movie.
had no idea, dog. It was an actual spit take, bro.
I was like, yes, we got it.
Hey, dog, I'm not here for this. So let's do this. Sin, does The Rock show up for these last two movies?
I would like to see Hobbs in the finale. To be honest, yes. I hope they can put whatever their beef is aside to have Hobbs in the finale. I think it would be, great for the fans and people who like the character. Because Hobbs is a great character for the franchise. And it's sad that, their beef or whatever it is just, had to take him out of it.
Is he going to kill Hobbs' character, whether he's in it or not? Listen, that is immediately the vibe I got when I saw this.
Yep. I think he's going to be in part one.
I need you to show up. Slim, you ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make it. Like, that's what I got. That's immediately the vibes I got from this. It seems so fake. That's how I feel. Does he get killed? Is he trying to find a way to make it so that The Rock can't possibly do
another Hobbs show? Do another one.
If he does, it has to happen. It has to be a prequel.
That'd be very, very trifling if he does that. So I'm gonna go on the side of positivity and say no, he's not going to do that.
They can do it. Rock is just going to make his own variation of Hobbs' character.
I agree that Rock won't allow being killed off. I agree that the studio isn't necessarily going to want to do it. I think though, Vin Diesel has more pull than you recognize.
Oh, big facts.
Especially for the
You're right
this
that he has a
specific
lot more
franchise.
pull than he did when he started with Fast. However,
Multiverse
what?
Hobbs.
Just Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Fast is over, and the franchise does not need to go on anymore.
No, it
It
does
just
not.
doesn't. The reality of it is, the studio could say to Rock, "Look, we know that there was a possibility of taking this spinoff and running with it, but we can give you something else. We'll give you 4 more movies. We'll sign you up for whatever, because if that's what he wants, that's what he'll get. But we want to let the character get killed off."
Possibly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of ways that Hollywood can work those deals out.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? To say, all right, well, Hobbs isn't gonna make it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Because again, if he doesn't agree to be in the movie, they could
They'll
kill him
just
off.
write
They
him
could say
off
that he
off
died
screen.
somewhere else or something happened,
Write him
or
off
you know
off
what I'm saying,
screen.
whatever. Yeah, I ain't about that multiverse Hobbs joining. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Sin is ready for the franchise to come to an end. Because even he knows it's getting a little tired, bro.
Yeah.
They just run out of things they can do, right? Like, what else can they do, really, with it?
I joked about them going to space like ages ago. I joked about that with Sin, and I did not think that was gonna become an actual thing. Like I really didn't. Like the only thing that they would do for me for fact, like somehow it would have to just go back to the roots. You know what?
Mhm.
It's a whole nother group of people,
Hey,
but we
Baby
get
Driver was fire, bro.
and we go back to what the Fast and the Furious start. I'm cool with the family aspect. You know what?
Oh,
I'm
you think
good
they
with
should do a
that.
reboot?
But see, I don't want them. I don't want them to reboot it because you know what? I don't want the same characters.
They can't reboot. They can't reboot that. They can't reboot the Fast and the Furious for at least a decade.
Yeah, no reboot.
After
They
10,
won't do
part
it.
1 and part 2, like don't touch it. Let
Yeah.
it breathe. If you want to explore with spin-offs or whatever, but leave like that core franchise just alone. Just leave it alone for a while.
Give me a Tokyo Drift 2 since Han is back and we got all those characters. Go back and explore the whole racing circuit in Japan. I'm for that.
I mean, I'm gonna just go back to what this originally was for me, which was I don't like the way your man came at your man because they
Came at
both
the
your
Rock.
man. So I don't like the way your man came at your man. Um, yeah. I'm really feeling like I'm gonna be on pins and needles waiting to see what actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for them 2 dudes to get on set and just straight up.
Hey, we're gonna hear
Just
about that
swing.
fight. We're gonna hear about that fight.
Vin Diesel gonna
They
get
gonna be
rock
mad
bottom into a
when
table.
I mean, you got to remember that Vin Diesel is officially a Marvel guy, and The Rock is
is a
officially a
DC guy.
DC guy, bro.
They gonna
They're
bring
on
that
other
beef.
sides of the.
I know Vin
Black
Diesel
Adam.
need to relax because he will get rock bottom into the craft start.
Black
The craft table.
Adam will break Groot.
Craft services.
I will
It'll be
electrocute
so
you.
bad. It'll be so bad. Okay, so last thing we need to do is we need to have a talk about Extra Life. Let's recap. Extra Life was great fun this year. I want to thank everyone who participated. I want to thank everyone who donated. As a team, right now, this is where we are. We have raised $2,600. This is more money than we have ever raised before, and I'm super proud of the accomplishment. So Sin has continued to earn money after the initial 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Zaina and Edia have both also continued to earn after the 24 hours. It's not over. People can still donate. We still have not hit the full goal of 3,000, and I would love Love to see that happen. It would be amazing. So
Somebody got on their own account.
who's on their own account, dog?
Just specifically for that to be.
Yeah, last I checked, I don't even know. Zayna, you might not even know this, but Zayna was at like 600.
What?
Like 620.
Okay.
Yeah, I had just checked it right before when I pulled that, because I was like,
That's
I
what's
thought
up.
somebody else had done another donation, and I had missed it because I saw it went up like another $100.
Mhm.
And somebody donated 50 to Zayna and 50 to Edia. So Edia's at 150, I think, something like that. Yeah, I think 150. Zayna was at like, I think 620. So yeah, again, like, it's not over. I am once again extremely excited. Look, there are folks out there who raise $120,000, but they generally are really, really large, more like organizations or something like that. So I'm super proud of this community and what this community has been able to do year in and year out. I don't know if we'll go back to this again for New Year's. I'm not against it. I just don't know yet. Yeah, Zayna's at 600. Edia's at 150. Jokes at 150. Sin at 500. K at 100. So
Okay.
yeah, I am again super super proud of just not just the team for sticking it out, for staying up so late, but also for this community. Super proud of this community. You guys
Agreed.
are incredible. You're absolutely the best. I certainly appreciate you popping in and out and checking on us and
I was
what
gonna say
have
thanks
you.
for rocking with us all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Popping in, popping out,
folks
it
that was
helps.
in there super early in the
Yep.
mornings. We had people
Oh,
still
yeah.
coming in there checking
Yeah.
with us. I
Yeah.
forget who that
Cuddy,
was.
thanks for jumping in and playing with us.
Yeah.
I want to thank Jacob for jumping in and playing with us. You know, Zayna streamed for a long time, a lot of Sims and stuff like that on her own channels. She was a champ and took that shot of vanilla extract like a G. You know, still got $10 to put in from her genius jar. Bet. So 610. Yeah, we definitely have to tally up the swear jar. Swear jar wasn't anywhere near as bad this year
No, I think we all behaved
as
ourselves.
it was.
No, we were on our P's and Q's.
Yeah, there was a moment.
For the most part.
Next year you're gonna deliver me a flight of mayos to try. I don't. Mm, mm, I don't. I don't feel like that's necessary. J. Robert Dean said, ironically, Kidlet, the reason I can't donate this year, donated a bit to Z, not Sin, not Jokes, who is her age, but Z. Again, that is awesome. Thank you, Kidlet. Again,
Yeah.
I tried to
All for
keep
good
up with
cause.
them. It's kind of hard to look at stuff coming in and watch the
I'm
screen
trying
and
to
not
do
get
the
shot
same.
or whatever. But I tried to make sure we gave some shout outs. I did send out a bunch of emails and thank yous, at least to the people who donated, directly to me, that I could see I could go in and shoot. So I did shoot a bunch of thank yous out to people. Still have work to do. There's some other things on the horizon. I did put together a shirt specifically for Extra Life. I didn't post it. I didn't make it available. I actually, the breast cancer shirts are still up, and I had people asking about them last week and buying them last
Okay.
week. So I think I'm just gonna leave them, and whenever somebody buys them, we'll just donate the proceeds.
Donate
There's
it at
no
that
real
point
reason
to
to
it.
take it down. I do think I am going to put up the shirt and just allow people to do the same thing. Just anybody who buys it, we'll take
those
that
and
and we'll
just
put it in the
donate
pot,
it.
Just
and add
donate
it
it.
into the Extra Life pot. So, look for that. I'm off tomorrow and I'll put a little work in, but I'm asleep. I'm just gonna tell you now. I'm gonna get me some more sleep.
Mm.
I'm pretty well rested, but I'm gonna get me some more sleep.
Feel you.
I am working on a Loaded Snacks ugly Christmas sweatshirt. It's not coming together anywhere near as quickly as I would like. I'm having some design blockage issues, but I'm working on it. I think that's about it. Proud of y'all. Thank you. Jokes, you got a job to do.
Yes, sir.
While you're doing that, can I just tell you that mayonnaise is the most disgusting?
I can tell by the look on your face every time you were winding up to do one.
I will tell you this, sir. I have given new definition to mayo to some of my friends at work, and I literally just said sandwich glue, and they all looked at me and was just like, I will never call it mayo again. It is sandwich glue.
Fact.
When I said that, it got the cylinders going. And it was like,
it's just there to hold it together, bro. It's just there. It smells like Elmer's, dog. Like I don't like. Y'all just y'all know what to do, man. Hit the link tree. Listen. Here's what we're not gonna do, J. Robert Deans. We're not gonna try to pretend that any mayonnaise is good. I don't care if there's one that's better than another one. You
it's still mayonnaise at the end of the day.
Like nobody's farts smell like roses, so it's all funky. Like it's all no good. It's all no good. It's all sandwich glue. Like I'm not gears, but the cylinders.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's jokes. So yes, the cylinder is not the gears. Miracle Whip is tasty.
I'll pass.
Let's see you do a spoonful of it. So
I was gonna say by the spoonful. By the spoonful, cause dog, listen, I don't even like pudding by the spoonful. Like I don't. The flavor of pudding doesn't necessarily bother me, but I don't want that goop, bruh. Like that's just not
that consistency.
Listen, like if you gotta eat cheese, right?
Yeah.
You don't want it like
Mayo
just
wars
melted in a glop of like, bro, and just nah, Slim.
Unless I'm going to pick it up off the side and place it on top of my pizza.
Wasabi next year. Hey, listen, I tell you right now, wasabi. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not doing a spoonful of wasabi, but I'll eat wasabi. Wasabi's not gonna take me to the look. Mom's in there getting at you, Cuddy. Miracle Whip, garbage.
I just hear her saying it just like you too. Garbage.
Probably just like it. Not y'all starting a mayo war. It's always a mayo war, Zayna. We don't have. It is a texture issue, but it is also a flavor issue.
The texture is important, but the flavor is still bad.
Bro.
Bad flavor, bad texture.
At least with pudding, it can taste good. Depending on what flavor you got.
Let me tell you something.
That's my issue with yogurt. That's literally my issue with yogurt.
If you're going to lick sandpaper, 80 grit, 120 grit, you still licking sandpaper, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's where you are with the mayo. Dog, it's just, that's right. It's just whip eggs and
whip it good.
Olive oil.
No.
Which is only good in Popeye cartoons. That's it. That's not true. Olive oil is great in some other things. So I shouldn't say that. I'll take that back. But yeah, I can't. I'm going to tell you right now, the only place mayo belongs is in tuna fish, dog. In a tuna fish sandwich to glue the tuna fish together with the relish. It's still just glue, bro. Worst condiment, period. I cannot. You make mayo from base ingredients, which is really good, but you can't. No, you cannot. Do you like potato salad, J. Robert Deans? Because I will not ever. I'm not doing it. It is muck. It is the sound texture and feeling of whatever muck is. MU capital
chunky.
C capital K
It's
muck.
chunky.
That's a
It
Pokemon.
makes a
You just
sound
throw the Pokemon.
when you spoon it. Nah, dog. I'm not there. Muck. Straight up muck. And nobody should eat muck. It's not good for you. Just don't do it. Look, man, y'all hit the link tree. The link tree gone out the chat now. Y'all hit the link tree. Y'all know where to follow us. If you want more hot takes like this,
Oh, he does like potato
we
salad.
the place for it. I do like potatoes. Deviled eggs, Amish, German, several varieties. First of all, deviled eggs, keep them. Keep
good.
them.
I'm good.
Why are they specifically called deviled eggs? You seem like you would know, J. Robert Dean. It's
It's
the kind of
evil.
thing that I should know. Like, it is the kind of thing I would normally. Throw us on chicken salad. Nah, dog. Let me tell you something
Separate,
about
not
chicken
together.
and how much chicken does not need salad. You
Say
understand what I'm saying?
separate, but not
Like,
together.
You see this chicken sandwich right here? There's no lettuce. I take the pickles off. There's no salad necessary with chicken. Don't chop chicken up and muck it. Why would you do that?
Muck it. That's
Why would you do that? It's unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Jokes. Lotus next shirt. Mayonnaise. Why would you do that?
Facts, bro.
We got 2 shirts.
Yeah.
We need
Facts.
that in Fight You
First
We
of
Trust.
all, olive oil in Popeye, not trash. Straight up G. I'm talking about olive oil, the most wanted, baddest youngin' in all cartoon history. Dudes were straight stealing this youngin'. Bluto been everybody from Sinbad the Sailor.
Yeah.
Straight, I got to have me some olive oil. Straight yoinking that joint.
Oh, there it is.
She leave this dude Popeye every chance she get. Roll out.
Right, Tony?
If Bluto got money, she leaving. Straight up leaving. Popeye just spinach up, beat the trash out of Slim, and then she go back to him. Straight up.
This is what we do, Tony. This is how it rolls, Tony.
Man, horseradish. Deviling. This sounds like it's going to go a completely different direction. Deviling is the process of seasoning that involves pepper and paprika generally. Egg yolk mixed with mustard, mayo, and pepper, then paprika. Listen, how many other things can you devil? Because pepper and paprika, I feel like, isn't deviling. I just think when you put them together on eggs, because are there deviled other things? What do you have?
Not that I've ever heard of.
Deviled chicken salad needs pickles, capers, red onion. Okay. Comments are absolutely out of control. Always. Oh, yeah. No. We can always have food rants, snack rants. We can do another Superman.
We all
rant.
know snacks.
Hey, Sin, you ready? You ready for that? The Arby's vodka?
No, but I'm down to try it.
What's up?
If it tastes anything like that bacon vodka, it's gonna be gross.
Old Southern church slang. I'm with it. Sin, you got a job to do.
Yeah, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Deutsch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
I like how you tied Marcus Houston into Susan, like Marcus Houston Deutsch. Like it was about to be one joint. I peeped that. I peeped that. Yeah, listen, again, love you all. Appreciate the support. You guys are great. You all are family. Don't hesitate to reach out if you actually need something from us. J. Robert Deans, we definitely have to actually discuss little jokes, little sin, little gauge, but mostly little jokes. Shirts or something. Man, I feel like we can make something happen with that for sure. Okay, y'all. Until next go round. This has been Loading Snacks Week. I'm Gage for Jokes and Sin. We're out. Toodles and lose.